Good late afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Holly and you're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. Let's get started with the last show of the day, the last trade. Today the local bourse remains under pressure as markets wait for the Federal Reserve's statement on whether it will raise interest rates thrice in 2022. Recently reappointed Chairman Jerome Powell might soon deliver a statement following a two-day Federal Open Market Committee meeting. Then at the market close, the ASX 200 closed lower, dropping 51.30 points or 0.70% and crossing below its 50-day moving average. The index has lost 1.06% for the last 5 days, but sits 4.01% below its 52-week high. Then on the sectoral front, 9 of 11 sectors ended lower, with utilities being the best performer, gaining 0.25% and 1.43% for the past 5 days. The best performer in stocks today was Virgin Money, up 4% after the company performed resiliently in the Bank of England stress test. It was followed by Alumina Limited and Platinum Asset Management, as well as other top performers of the day, AGL Energy and Whitehaven Coal. Then in the red zone, PointsBet Holdings was the biggest laggard, its stock plummeting a whopping 7.2%. Other losers for today were Hub24, Life 360, Pinnacle Investments and Polynovo Limited, as well as corporate travel management and their $175 million acquisition of Hello World. Corporate travel business might give the corporate travel business high-quality blue-chip clients. The acquisition is highly complementary to CDT's existing Australian and New Zealand corporate travel management operations, which adds industry verticals which are expected to perform strongly as recovery from COVID continues. Then the completion of the acquisition is expected to occur in the first quarter of 2022. Meanwhile, Coronado Resources notified that the production slowdowns due to a fatal injury of an employee coupled with heavy rains indicate that the coal miner will produce between 17 million and 17.2 million tonnes of coal in 2021. Today, their shares plummeted nearly 2%. And Woolworths as well took a tumble yesterday, which continued as they pulled the customer staple sector down even today. The chain has forecast a bit of 20 million to 30 million in the first half of financial year 22. And today, shares traded marginally up. Fortescue as well has secured an exclusive 3-year window from the government of Gabon to study the feasibility of opening up a new iron ore province in the central west coast African nation. It's looked at the Belinga iron ore project, first discovered in 1955, since 2018. And it plans to set up a separate company in Gabon that will be 20% owned by the Africa Transformation and Industrialization Fund. Today, Pilbara Iron Ore miners shares are traded in the red zone. And then annuities provider Challenger has appointed former funds management head Nick Hamilton as the new chief executive officer, replacing Richard Howells, who spent 2 decades at the company. Challenger announced in August that Mr. Howells would resign after 3 years as CEO to pursue opportunities outside of financial services. Today, their shares traded up by 1%. And gas infrastructure company APA Group will be paying an interim dividend of 25 cents on the 17th of March, up from 24 cents in the 21 to 22 period. Total full-year distributions in the period are still expected to be 53 cents or a final distribution of 30 cents, which would be their highest ever. Shares were in the red zone today. And then looking at the global markets in Asia, just like the other markets, traders brace for a faster withdrawal of the Federal Reserve stimulus and await China's economic slowdown, as well as a setback from Omicron for its vaccine program. Japan's Nikkei ended up 0.1% and South Korea lost 0.3% as well. Meanwhile, China released a slew of key economic data on Wednesday. Its industrial output for November was up 3.8% year on year, more than 3.5% of an increase in October. Data also showed that retail sales in November rose 3.9% year on year, less than October's 4.9% increase. And today, China's Shanghai Composite Index added 0.1%. Across Asia, though, these stocks fell on Wall Street amid fears of inflation in the world's largest economy, which seems to still be running high. The central bank is expected to speed up the withdrawal of economic stimulus measures in the face of rising inflation. And then in the crypto space, cryptocurrency prices surged today with Bitcoin trading at just over $48,000. But the optimism may be short-lived as trading volumes remain low and some traders prefer to remain on the sideline until the US Fed Reserve concludes its two-day monetary policy meeting, which could be a source of market volatility. Ether as well also moved up slightly, but was still well below the $4,000 US mark. Meanwhile, Dogecoin went up as well, over 15%, after Elon Musk said that Tesla will accept Dogecoin as payment for merchandise on a test basis. Well, that is all for now for today in the last trade, but catch us tomorrow for more market insights and commentary only on Kalkine TV. This is Holly Shields signing off for the day.